Welcome to creating objects. Now in this video we're going to build on what we did in a previous video that was entitled Defining a Class. Now in the video that was entitled Defining a Class, we created, or we coded up, this cat class right here. Notice the keyword class and then cat. Now what can we do with this class? Well, we can instantiate objects of the type cat, alright, which is actually the class, and those objects will have these variables and functionalities. Alright, and so let's take a look at, first of all, an example of how to do that. Now there's a few different ways to make this happen, but for now we're just going to kind of do one and keep it kind of simple. Okay, notice the first thing I'm going to do is give it my type, which is cat, and then I'm going to give it a variable name C1. Okay, now when I come down, if I type C1 and hit period, notice what's happening. It sees inoculate, and you notice this little symbol. That's telling me that that is a method or an action that I can take. There is the variables, the little blue bricks, mAge, mWeight, and mName. Okay, well, if I double click on mAge, it puts it right there, and I can set it equal to 5. Then I can come out and type C1, and I can get name, and I can set it equal to, and since it's a string, Fluffy. Fluffy's the name of our cat, right? Let me back up here. Got to put my semicolon at the end, and then C1 dot mWeight, and I'll double click that, equals 4. Okay, now at this point I have this object. It's out there in memory, C1. It is of the type cat, and I have set the age to 5, the weight to 4, and the name is Fluffy. Now the name of the object is C1. The property name is Fluffy, and here's the property name right here, but Fluffy is the value we've given that property. Okay, the age, or mAge property, we've given it the value 5. All of this stuff makes up the state, or the current condition of this C1 object. Now the correct terminology here is that I instantiated an object called C1 based on the class cat. Alright, now let's see what this means. What can I do with this? Let me scroll that back up. What I'm going to do here is just copy and paste some code on here so that you don't have to watch me try to type all this, but I'll let you see what's going on here. Notice we're calling the standard console out, and we're piping to that basically the C1 name property. Then we're putting in literal text. We're just kind of concatenating all that together, is, and we're calling C1 mAge, and then we're saying the years old and weighs, and then we're piping in, and we're going to put C1 mWeight. So we're just taking advantage of all those things that we set, and that's how many pounds. And the status for Fluffy, okay, notice we are coming down here, we're calling C1.inoculate, and we're passing it C1 mAge, and then we're ending that. Now let me show you what that looks like on that inoculate. If I type C1 and press period, you can see that inoculates there. Well, notice it is putting something here, and if I look over there, it's saying a pointer to a bound function may be only used. It's just saying, wait a minute, something's not right here. Well, if I hit the first parentheses, notice it's letting me know here, hey dude, they're looking for an integer here. Okay, you need to put an age in here. All right, well, I could put the age 5 in here, or I could actually put C1 mAge, and whatever it is set to is what will get passed up there, and that is exactly what I have done right down here. Okay, so I'm going to take this back out, okay, and let's run this. And so we're running the class example. I will compile that up. We'll let it get through compiling. Now it's actually going to compile the class up and see it out there kind of as a separate entity, and then I will come out here. We will back up to our projects folder, and there's our class example. We'll go in there, we'll right click on debug, holding down the shift key, open the command window, and we will type the class example. the name of the program. And notice it says Fluffy is 5 years old and weighs 4 pounds. Status successfully inoculated. Okay, and let's come out here and you can see how all that worked. Here's what's really interesting. All right, notice I can go right back to my type cat and type C2 and basically do the same stuff. C2.mAge equals 2, and then C2.m, whoop, I got to get C2 not CS, then we can get m weight equals 6, and then C2 dot, notice I don't have to use these in any particular order, C2 name equals, and this is Tiger. Alright, and then I am going to copy this, put it right down here, and all we have to do is change our 1s to 2s right here. Alright, now grab that one and that one. Alright, and everything should be cool. Now we will have two totally separate objects, C1 and C2, based on the cat type, and these will be in memory at the same time. They'll have two totally separate distinct states, separate distinct lives, if you will. And so let's just go back out to our command prompt and let me clear this. Then let's go back to class example, and you'll notice here they both are. Fluffy's 5 years old, weighs 4 pounds, successfully inoculated. Tiger is 2 years old, weighs 6 pounds, and is underage for inoculation. Why does it say underage? Well, if you remember in the class we said if the age was less than 3, then they would be underaged. Okay, so that's what these look like. That's a good example, very, very simple example of using classes to instantiate objects and to use those objects. Go over this if this is new to you. Play with this code and make sure it's making sense to you.